chance to try and play for that again.
Well, let's see, because they got comfort last game. It was a talk between you guys that the comfort from KC and the champions, they rolled out with a perfect thing to get the job done. In Game 3, they won't have to lean on that, or rather won't be able to, as Poppy gets banned. Seraphine take out a potential Ashe Seraphine as we go through Fearless.
All right, can KC win this? I think we'll come down to draft. Prep is king, guys. Prep is king.
I wonder if KC... We saw yesterday
Let's run it.
going for the Zeri. He's been one of the few players that decided to go for it in this tournament. And we'll have to see if he decides to go for the Mage or something like a Hyper Carry, because he showed a lot of prowess on the Victor as well, but it changes a lot how you want to play as a team around him. I do think that in that game on the Seri Alistar, they were very weak in the early game, and it was hard for KC to really play much. And I think you can't get away with that against T1, as we'll see what T1 locks in first.
Renekton was their ban for this entire time, and now it has been left open. Gnar is also in the picture for our top laners, and it has been seeming to be the theme to pick those top laners in the first rotation.
And I wonder, would Doran do that knowing that Canna's speciality has been this cannon throughout last year, especially into the Renekton?
Okay.
But now it is the Ryze. Let's leave that in the back of our mind. KC are a team who
The
have
Ryze first pick. Cassie out, Syndra out, Orianna banned, Victor out, and Navy out. This Ryze is very powerful.
It's a tale as old as time. He's
Gnar and Wukong slam. Not a super big fan of Wukong, if I'm going to be honest with you guys.
And Yike on the Wukong, another comfort pick for him. So it looks like in game
maybe you want to play something like
Skarner
or a tank
of the draft in the second game and just stick to comfort.
Now hear me out.
Olaf into Gnar is definitely something that drives, Mr. Doran to play.
Can solo kill Gnar.
And with Olaf top, you can easily pick attack jungle. You can even go Sejuani.
A good Olaf can also solo kill the Gnar here, as that's what Doran wants to go for. We saw him play this up against G2 with Broken Blade on the Klett. And Doran did solo kill BB in that game, despite BB getting incredibly fed later on.
True, so yeah.
We'll have to see what Faker locks in here on 3. Would be probably just a jungle answer into this Wukong. Could be the Skarner if you want even more CC.
I feel like with the Ryze already locked in, you've got Wukong on the other side. Pantheon has been sort of falling into priority, but he's one of those champions that can really pressure side lanes. And Gnar is a pretty vulnerable champion, especially in mini Gnar form, that could fall to someone like Pantheon hit inside.
Okay, Pantheon it is.
The same trajectory.
This Wukong can fight against Wukong, Pantheon well, but
going for the Annie for kyeahoo, we saw a lot of.
I worry the top lane matchup is extremely volatile, and they have Ryze and Pantheon to support it.
And you see with how fast they
I think KC is fighting a little bit too much on an even footing
KC is very comfortable
in the 1-2-3. I don't see a drafted chip for KC. Rather, I would prefer T1 side of the draft.
On the board. You can pair up like both.
I think picking Annie into Olaf, Ryze, Pantheon is not super exciting.
ADCs, so they decided to just take away the
but they just picked something to contest.
Have him on that explosive.
Now the main question is,
with all these all-ins coming through from both of these
how will KC solve bot lane?
For both of them.
If they can enable Busio to impact mid,
and with
to make Canna play an isolated game,
either side, he will always have
then,
some value. However, the problem
everything is saved.
Olaf. And the one
but I don't know how they're going to piece it together, guys. I really don't know that. Lucian, Milio, Seraphine already banned.
Yeah, high DPS ADC.
Kaliste, Renata.
It's what KC wants to look for.
What will we see?
You don't want to index too heavily into the heavy CC champions that can easily get ran down. Like we saw when Doran played the Olaf into G2, it was Hansama on Ashe Seraphine. And it was so difficult for Hansama to play any of those
expected.
Fights, since Ashe can't really do anything into the Olaf, so something that
this Lucian looks really good, no?
Outplay
Would this be Lucian 4 pick here for KC? I feel like Lucian gives you the most amount of flexibility. I think that you pick Lucian on 4.
Like a Lucian Milio bot lane could be incredible.
Because if you pick Lucian on 4, you can decide to go range support on 5, you can go melee support on 5, you can choose, just pick 4 matchups.
Yeah, and
Lucian gives you the most flexibility, I think.
So I'm thinking something like Xayah on one side into a Lucian lane for T1 potentially.
Xayah without the Nautilus into Lucian would be very difficult.
Where is the Xayah Rakan in the midst of this?
That's another option. Rakan is really
Lucian
nice
is just by far the best 4th pick, I think, for KC. I don't see what else.
The only thing is
Caliste, I don't know, Lucian has to be the pick.
Caliste is thinking here. They want to take away the Lucian. I was thinking that with T1's Lulu and Nautilus ban, it does feel like they were setting up for the Lucian themselves. We'll have to see how T1 respond to it.
To pick a melee support, I think.
Will be a Milio take away to pair with something else.
I'm not a big fan of Rakan, guys. Not a super big fan.
Casey knew they were walking into this one. With Wukong, with Gnar, with Annie. The survivability of Peyz.
Maybe they just think simply that Milio is not good for enemy comp.
Looks like it'll be the Xayah
and they will invite it.
As both teams deliberating heavily on their ADC decisions. And it's probably going to be the Milio for Busio. Lucian Milio up against the Xayah Rakan. It's an explosive
Lucian
Milio.
Lucian Milio has to do a lot of work this game.
But as you get that level 6 on
the
Xayah
scaling
Rakan,
from T1's team fight is
with Oner getting level 6 as well,
it's really insane.
Really easy time trying to shut Caliste down.
I don't know if I like this into the Olaf. If by any chance Doran does pop off here, Lucian and Milio.
Alright, Caliste Criminal, Busio.
So
you guys need to snowball the lane and then you need to carry the game.
No walls, there's no CC, there's
if this Rakan has any roam timers, you lose the game.
But the biggest problem is that you're quite
you lose the game instantaneously. I don't like Lucian. Lucian after the buff on E brought him back to OP state. OP status. Lucian is really, really good.
Or a lot of other DPS ADCs, but I do still
so
like
if Rakan gets any roam timers and Peyz doesn't get punished, and they can't keep Rakan in the lane, and they manage to take the flash of Annie or roam one time into top, this is going to be a very, very tough game. What is his E-buff?
Could only be the top as we go to stage to round out our first semi-final. Busio parry!
Here, 2608. Cooler reduced to 16 from 18. Mana cost reduced.
Game 3 KCT1.
This is a very, very nice buff. This has made them a lot stronger.
Here at the Esports World Cup. One game left to determine which of these two teams will get
I think that KC need to outplay. That's why I don't like the draft so much. I don't like the underdogs being in a situation where they need to outplay early to rock and roll and go.
$600,000.
Say it again, one more time.
$600,000 pour le gagnant.
That is a lot of money. Now, you've been teaching me Francais all week, but it's a bit of a weird question, but can you teach me one more word? How do I say prince in Francais?
Do you mean like the son of the king?
Oui.
Ah, en français on dit Caliste.
Caliste, the prince.
Caliste the prince, yeah, exactly. And I thought you had one more question before we get into the game.
What's happening?
For the French fan, especially on the KC side, I believe.
Yes, oui. What's the color?
What's the color?
I said, what's the color? Let's get back into this game.
Yo, we need some counterbalance. Where's Tyler 1 to hype up T1, bro? Where's Tyler 1?
Obviously, one.
Who won World 6 times?
T1 fans still committed amongst. But we're in Paris. We're in there.
We have to, bro. You gotta be balanced here, bro. Gotta be balanced.
Down to game number 3. An incredible close series thus far, and both team comps looking so similar. I don't think the fighting will stop that we've been seeing in game number 1 and 2.
I think we've had 80 kills in about 40 minutes
in the
so
T1
far.
draft here.
It has been explosive, and the comps littered themselves to that as well. Level 1 fighting, I will say, has been the most explosive I've seen all tournament, all MSI,
KC bot lane need to be the ones driving and controlling the game.
Finally, we
they
get
need
a bit
to.
more normality with supports.
They need to.
Lanes start off.
They must.
The
Simply must.
This is a more individualistic draft for KC right here. They have managed to pick counters throughout their lanes to try and overpower those, which will then release, hopefully, Yike to play a little bit more aggressive. However, I will say so far, the support with the biggest ADC on the map has been the biggest playmaker and difference maker. And right here, Busio on the Milio will not be that big role.
I think the T1 is very favored. Guys, let me get grabbing something to drink.
It relies a lot on Caliste here to really bring this game forward, as this matchup is really all about dodging these Rakan Qs. Because if you don't give the Xayah Rakan sustain, that's when you can really chunk them out and make their life really miserable. And it's once Xayah Rakan get level 6 that it becomes a lot easier for them to play. I like a lot that Caliste went cleanse here. Really good up against the Pantheon, and it also denies the exhaust from Peyz, making it a lot less scary for him to dash in. Because if Peyz could just exhaust him, then you could easily turn the all-in and just run him down. As Yeo getting some good trades in mid lane as well.
Yeah, he tries to slow him out, but he still gets hit by everything, including the overload. So Faker gets some good damage down in response, but stun is being held here by kyeahoo. threat now gone as he takes it with the Disintegrate on a minion. Meanwhile, Caliste dashing forward. They got level 2 first here with the push. Casey's bottom lane in a great position with Oner heading up top.
We'll really have to see how T1 spot lane can weather this storm. If they can farm well under tower, get to level 6 without much bleeding, then they're in a very comfortable position. But thus far, it looks like KC are playing the matchup really well, being able to punish T1.
Level 6 is what I'm looking at for T1. Pantheon ult, Ryze ult, they've got so much side lane power that they can hit all at once. And it feels like kyeahoo will not necessarily be able to follow up into Fog of War playing the Annie. It is a little bit scary playing an immobile mage and running into complete darkness. So we will see if KC can actually sustain that pressure ball, knowing that level 6 threat is there.
And it feels like we should be seeing that attention top, right? We talked how pivotal the Olaf is and what Doran can do if he gets ahead. We know Olaf is a champion that wants to snowball the hell out of the game. So guys, I'm going to ask you, make sure you tell me properly, all roads lead bot this game, right? What do you think? Top.
I mean, I think all the matchups in this game can be quite volatile, as we see kyeahoo being forced to base here. Thus far, Doran hasn't been able to get much of an advantage. For now, he's looking to all in. He has the ghost.
Any wave is gone, though. So Doran fighting in the middle, but not going to be too good. Good knock up here. Caliste in a bit of trouble as he falls, and he cleanses that away. Peyz flashing for the feathers, and he gets some. Rips it through the heart of Paris. His first blood goes over to the Xayah. Looking for the follow-up. Busio in a bit of trouble. No mana here to kick a soccer ball and send T1 out of there. The dodge away, sure, but Peyz now in range of damage. The feathers flashed away from. Busio is out, but
already
Peyz just broke their ankle.
And Peyz gets his revenge.
I went to grab a drink.
Number 2, a great flash from him. Caliste tries to predict it as well, but with the triumph, he ends up living so long. As we watch this, it's a really good grand entrance from Keria. Both Caliste and Peyz flash at the same time, predicting each other, but with the triumph, Busio's not able to take him down. They're able to chase down Busio and get his flash as well.
And this is kind of sad right here, because that KC bot lane needs to take off. Your Lucian, Milio need to be pressuring that bot lane, especially since your other lanes are gonna have a lot of pressure exerted. But now, Pantheon and Ryze are rubbing their hands. Both bot laners for KC are without their flashes for the next few minutes.
That's a great start for T1. They couldn't ask for anything more than this, especially now. As you're
I don't know what happened, guys, but
that's when it really
I went to grab a drink. Peyz broke their ankles.
Once you have access to that,
Peyz got angry.
Once Oner has access to his ultimate as well.
The issue is with Wukong, these ganks aren't the nicest ones to make. Caliste finds a pocket, but the discipline from T1. I think honestly they could have killed him. I don't think Wukong does anything here.
And that is worst case scenario.
But T1 think to themselves, Lucian being 1 HP is already a lane win. We have 2v3. Faker on the hover without 6.
They'll get to push that wave. They'll get to push next wave as Caliste cannot back here as well.
Not gonna lie, guys, I think that's game. Keria looking for the cancel. It's gonna be extremely uncomfortable here to play.
And it's because Faker, I think, guys.
I think if you don't win bot lane, Wukong jungle in this game.
Really nice roam there from Faker as
Keria a little bit over ambitious. Kill goes over to kyeahoo.
Okay, Keria.
All right.
Operational. He fail flashes over the wall as well, so that is gonna be a kill going over for kyeahoo.
We're jinxing it real time.
Still, Caliste lost a lot of minions there, and you can see how annoying Keria can play on this Rakan. He still needs to be a little bit careful, especially up against the Annie.
Why not?
Actually, that was a beautiful swap that KC did. Putting Lucian in the shortest lane, now that he's missing his flash, who could potentially be punished down that bot lane, and especially since T1 kept pressuring the issue, Busio stayed just about outside of Fog of War, and the second kyeahoo lands into Keria's screen is just too late.
Yeah,
it's a nice bait. It's a nice bait. I could see what Keria wanted to achieve there.
It just allowed Caliste to be able to farm some minions on mid. Now they swap back to normal lanes, and it's still a 500 gold lead for Peyz. But overall, item discrepancies are not too big, as Peyz had to buy the Cloak of Agility, which isn't really much of a power spike, but we have a gank on top.
All in, going to be immediate ulti as well.
Doran sends it.
He flashes away, but Doran's still on him. The power of the Olaf, running down one, looking for the other. The underdog's going to connect, and here we go. It's Ragnarok.
Bro. The poison of League of Legends. Imagine that we played BO1s competitively for the longest time ever. Imagine how many poison results. We all got deluded. I got deluded.
Away
T1 just decided, let's kick it up a notch. Imagine we played BO once, how dumb that would be.
Doran, he pops the ulti immediately, and Canna just, he's too cocky. The fact that he jumps forward, even though he flashes away, he doesn't have the damage to get into Mega, and Doran is just so damn strong on this Olaf.
I feel like it was kind of a mistake, just jumping forward on the mini Gnar. If his Gnar bar was maybe
I don't know what the boy just did.
See it trying to get a big Mega Gnar, but that wasn't the case, and it forces Yike's
the copium supply is at an all-time low.
As level 5, and thing I'm gonna say, this Olaf is now scary for the Lucian Milio. He's already pulled ahead. He's a threat on the 1v1 versus the Gnar, but also the 2v1 even if Yike shows up, because that CC that Wukong provides, Olaf doesn't care for.
Game number 3 here. It's the individual lanes from T1 that are outplaying, making it so difficult for KC. They also don't have the global pressure that T1 has, so it's going to be really difficult for them to ever generate a numbers advantage. Because if KC try to make a gank happen, Faker and Oner could so easily always respond. And this Lucian Milio losing the 1v1.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see how cocky Keria can play. He can walk around, cancel their bases. It's so difficult to play into a Fed-sire Rakan.
And that was a really nice respect back off right there from the KC bot lane. Yes, they're going to lose a lot, but they know that Pantheon is looming around, ready to ult. Keria has been so annoying.
He's just trying to get the backstop. He won't take any more turret shots.
Keria with his Hilisan cosplay. Kyeahoo's flash.
Only taken no, not by Faker, but he runs in
gets
anyway.
baited. Doesn't get rooted here though.
He's going to find
Yike looking to ult.
Cyclone as well. A moment, a stun.
KC looking for counterplay. Can they get Oner? Can they get Oner, please? Yes!
If only just Caliste now comes.
Caliste criminal with the culling. Looking for drive-by.
Well.
Doesn't get it done. Kills the minions.
Top open.
But Caliste is losing so many minions on bot here. Peyz is just able to continue hitting this tower. And Caliste really wanted to make something happen. At least kyeahoo is going to be able to TP, and they're going to get the grubs. But you have to question that move from Caliste.
I like that KC
wasn't really able to contribute at all in the fight, because the fight was
I like that
over.
KC are like, you know what?
Really nice.
We need to get some things done. And they're creating some imbalances in the game by swapping lanes and rotating. I think I'm happy to see that at least, because their game state is very hard.
Right before Doran shows up is a big win for KC, even if all Caliste did was just poke them down.
It was like Caliste was in a situation, damned if I do, damned if I don't.
Exactly, yeah.
Caliste down massively. Peyz got some time with that bottom lane turret. 3 plates left standing. And this bot lane's still a problem. Yes, KC found themselves something towards mid. kyeahoo is getting gold. But if this Lucian Milio doesn't have effect on this game, we sure know that Peyz and Keria will. They definitely will.
Yeah, Keria has full control of this bot side, and oh my god, it's so annoying.
It's very annoying.
I can imagine that the KC players are feeling the pressure right now with how much Keria is putting on them. Peyz now with the Essence River and a chunk from kyeahoo, but it's going to be just that, a chunk with the Tibbers invested. And now Keria can base again. He's put full deep
Faker didn't go mercs because Annie is solo AP, but
both side jungle is
maybe that's going to give them some chances to kill the
Ryze.
Ryze.
It's so difficult for Yike to be able to find any sort of angle, because T1, they always know where he is.
Oh, Caliste, maybe a bit too far forward. Oner's looking to
the T1 draft is very strong. Yike is trying to get Trinity Force gold before he goes. He's fighting now with 1.5k gold. Oner has no flash.
From Busio, he's level 5 though. If he gets stunned up, he will not be able to give that breath of light to himself.
T1's draft does feel better, yeah. It's just T1's draft allows for so many more mistakes. If KC draft makes one mistake, it's just over. Then I never ever like a draft that needs to snowball, that has Wukong or like Vi jungle. I just don't believe in it. They clear too slow, and they want to teamfight with 6, and the game just starts way too late for them. So I really don't like it.
See them to the ground, and then the tankiness comes through, and then the Rakan comes through. It's just going to be so hard to break that wall for KC.
I completely agree with you, Trouble.
That's Drake number 2 for T1.
Gold lead, but you can see how T1 are choking them out with the vision, with the pressure, and it's because it's so difficult for KC to be able to find a fight when they're losing the lanes individually. They don't have the Pantheon ulti.
Yeah, Caliste and Busio were not allowed to lose this lane.
And with Yike always being on vision, he's never actually going to be able to find a flank.
And here I want to go back to Busio.
Instead of Gnar, Gragas could be a better option. Gragas would be terrible.
Changing the map around, and that's why going even further back in draft, I didn't necessarily
Gnar
like
was a blind pick
right here. Not because of the composition,
and with all the champions out, Gnar was okay.
Whilst Busio has been opening up the map for KC for 2 games straight.
Yeah, they put a lot of eggs into the Caliste basket, but
and rightfully so.
Yeah, but Peyz has been better this game. They outplayed them in the 2v2, and with that, they've been full control. Still no Essence River on Caliste, so he's quite a bit weaker as Yike is trying to hover kyeahoo. If Faker actually steps too far forward, that could be an avenue for KC.
Peyz by himself. Make a fire kick, not bad. Caliste stepping up. The feathers are now out. Good dodge away. Culling is going to go the rest of the minion wave. Peyz in trouble as well. Caliste going to get the feathers to full frontal. He gets away. There's Pantheon ult.
Okay.
For his life. He brings in that breath of life, but it's not enough. He's dead. Oner comes in and enough damage.
Pantheon.
And even though it's a good start from KC,
they tried to get a fight in, but Caliste didn't even have item. I don't like the fact that he bought these boots. I think when you're behind with ADC, you don't upgrade boots ever.
Jumps in, but it's an Olaf.
Even in the Mega Gnar, look at Oner, look at Doran versus Canna. Almost takes him down on the turret though.
Okay, Doran classic.
Oner now going to complete the transaction. Yike brings out the Cyclone.
Yike has Trinity Force, he wants to fight, but Keria is kind of tanky.
Get them away. He'll take the minion wave in the end, and Doran went deep for the play. A bit of respect to him.
Doran got a bit impatient right there. No expecting. His team could have finished it all. It was just 1 HP, but he's like, hey, it's Strikebreaker versus
Busio. You cannot face check.
Busio tried to get some cancellations. Maybe.
Thing is, Oner in a bit of trouble as well, trying to turn up and running back in.
What Busio did makes perfect sense. You know, like people might think, oh, why is he face checking to die? Faker, no mercs. Is that going to be the problem? The Q lands. Oh, mi bomba.
Faker walks it out. He's got a minion wave coming up as well. Realm wants to get out of there.
Wow.
Leaving. Canna can't get
That's the goat.
And Faker escapes with the Realm Orb. He's able to get the TP out.
He is, bro, the thing is, Faker is Neo and Morpheus at the same time. He's Neo and Morpheus. Both.
As now, Faker's TPing
the same way he is.
Gonna protect that bot tower.
The same way he's Messi, he's also Ronaldo.
Down a little bit as KC try to claw their way back in.
But it feels like KC are always in numbers disadvantage because of that. We're going to get to see this one more time. Tivis has already been popped, about 40% HP onto Faker. Combos with the electric right there. And the flash auto is just kind of not enough with the Q to finish him off.
Did he get the auto in before the Q?
I think he did, yeah.
So maybe
wow.
Regardless. The pig's down. Faker picking the
He knows. This guy knows about the draft.
And he gets out of there.
He's just staring into the camera like he's Jim from The Office.
What is kyeahoo expects going to happen?
Not sure what Kya was thinking. Honestly, I'm not so sure why we picked Annie into Olaf. Alright, Milio with the fat ult. Keria takes a lot of damage. Mikhails keeps him alive. Nasty.
Of HP as Peyz steps up to the turret. The Culling's going to try and help out. Oner takes the turret, shot at the turret, falls down. First turret of the game.
Caliste looking to squeeze, but my man. There's nothing to squeeze there. Yike with Peyz.
Connect the second time. Yike needs to find an angle.
I don't know what did T1 eat backstage.
To step back and watch from afar. Feathers again. Busio dead. Yes, kyeahoo will fly in to find the kill.
All right, look at that pro view, daddy pro view. Come on now.
KC have one chance. They're alive laner, but an Undertow will connect. Doran knows he needs to leave. He doesn't have Ragnarok, so he's going to run it, book it out of there. The hop over. Canna won't find the boomerang. The Pantheon there to support.
Honestly, EWC production goated, bro.
The gold power play.
That's some good ass production, bro.
On the map. The fact that he's able to escape from kyeahoo there is a disaster for KC. It's a 5,000 gold lead from T1, and Caliste is so difficult for him to play, but I really want to watch the replay there because I think it's a huge miscommunication from KC. It starts off with Keria going a little bit too deep. He gets incredibly chunked, but then Yike ease over the wall to the Raptors, and I think Caliste didn't quite think Yike would do that because Caliste is still playing as if Yike can back him up with how far forward he's clicking, and then after Caliste is already dead, that's when Yike has his cooldowns back up and he tries to flash onto Peyz, but he gets outplayed as well, and it just feels like KC are so disorganized going in one by one, all dying.
I feel like it seemed like a bit of a desperation play as Pantheon is ulting down bot lane. They do have a big, gigantic mark on top of Caliste. As we mentioned, this Lucian is going to
I was trying to explain Busio face checking there makes a lot of sense because there was like one moment where the enemy has CDs. Sometimes you need to just face check to get a fight going before the enemy goes and spends their gold and heals the full. And you have to get some cancellations to try to create some imbalances in the position. Ryze's ultimate. T1's not gonna let Casey get this, I think.
But T1 is stepping up. It's Caliste in harm's way again. Throws the campfires out. Culling? No, not just yet.
Actually, it seems like they don't care. They don't care. Ryze is just pushing bot, which is also a big price. Nobody can pressure. Nobody can pressure Peyz. Like if Xayah is too strong to be on the wave, and Lucian can't pressure her off with Milio, you just have no way of actually playing the game.
They get the Herald, but it's still T1 with full control of the map. They're going to cross-map for the bot tower. They're getting Yike's jungle. You see that Oner is finally starting to catch up in CS on Yike.
Roll quest finish, guys. At minute 17. That's painful. Very painful. My man has been roaming the map.
KC are going to kind of need a miracle.
I really, the main thing I dislike is this. I don't like the shoe purchase.
Win in any equal number fight.
The shoe purchase is very tough.
They're not the ones with the globals, so they don't have the easy time generating that numbers advantage. It's going to need to be a creative TP from kyeahoo or Canna with the Gnar to be able to find an angle.
I feel like this was the best case scenario. The Trinity Force champion already have that one, Gnar plus Wukong. And this is the time where KC will have one item and T1 1.5 apart from
I don't think it's pressure or not pressure. It's just like
sort of equal ground. Once the second items get completed, T1 will just mega spike on their champions. The second death stance completed, Black Cleaver on Oner's Pantheon. It will be way too hard to beat them in a straight-up 5v5.
Yeah, they will need to take that straight-up 5v5 as the Ocean Dragon spawns in 3 minutes. But T1, they might not want to wait. They want to send 5 members up on the top side here and force this tier 2.
Was you and Nemo who pointed out Sama boots purchase being bad? I think these shoes are disgustingly bad. If I'm going to be honest.
5,500 gold T1 with this next wave. You'd think to be able to walk this one in. Maybe not for now. Defended by Caliste well. Faker gets the stun up as
in games with low eco, you don't upgrade shoes. That's all. You need to curve out and hit your crit items. And being delayed 800 gold when you are low. Like imagine here, he would be building to. He would have IE and no shoes. Obviously, I don't know his exact gold, but there's a big window now where he's not going to be on 2 items. And just because you bought boots, there's a high chance that Xayah will finish 3rd by the time you hit 2nd.
And Peyz was so sneaky. He knew the red buff was spawning, so if KC stuck around, he was looming in that bush, waiting for KC to walk right into a 2 full item Xayah.
I just don't understand why Riot put this shoe in the game.
So empowered by this draft to just constantly walk forward.
Just there to make Assassin's bets out of which was the case, but then Assassin's got nerfed through item and champions.
On the Lucian here. Setup from KC's bottom lane hasn't been successful.
Can you imagine that Palafox, Faker himself, bought these shoes on Quay? He bought them on Quay.
Quay. In 15 seconds. It is sold for T1. KC need to find a fight. They need to find an opening in those next 2.
And T1 have really good Nash damage as well.
Quay.
So regardless of where KC choose to invest, T1 can pressure the other side. You can see how deep they can go into enemy jungle, forcing Yike out. Doran is fighting the Realm Warping top.
The Realm Warp with no turret there as well.
Doran. Canna trying to get Mega, doesn't get it.
Yike turns around in circles, but with 3 members of T1, he's got to get out there.
Okay, Caliste Criminel tries to flash forward, somehow staying alive with the anti-shield. Yike, invisibility, and T1 can just click Nasher. This looks like it's going to be a turbo fast game.
Don't even have to sneak the Baron this time around on spawn because 2 members of KC are down, their smite is down, Yike is down, and it's a free Baron for T1. Remember the timer with the items? They already have them. 2 items in, locked in, T1 clean win here.
Yeah, T1 are just outplaying them in every team fight. You saw Caliste here as we watched the replay. It starts off with a great Realm Warp from Faker. It forces Canna to walk into Oner, and then they can one-shot him before KC can arrive. A really nice flash from kyeahoo onto Peyz, but Caliste goes a bit too far forward here, flashing to try to follow up on Peyz, but Peyz gets the root caller's edge, so he's not able to actually take down Peyz, and it's a winning fight for T1 as they continue fighting.
Oner's a bit far away. Busio will be able to walk out. Peyz decided not to converge on that either. Oner and Keria trying to find an angle while Yike and Busio now group up together. KC are moving in. They've got to fight fire with fire. 20 seconds for the soul. And T1 have 6,000 gold over their heads. Faker on a ward, maybe an opportunity. The boomerang out from Canna gets a slow. Yike's over the wall now, spotted out looking for his cyclone. Does he have it yet? His biggest question is...
The goat walks away.
Shield, a bit of a battle dance.
Casey trying to chase because Olaf is mid. They are desperate.
But now, on the international stage, he needs
they're so desperate.
And Canna now with no ulti.
Olaf is on mid, they have to try something.
One chance, one opportunity. Kyeahoo needs to hit that on Peyz.
Olaf on the flank.
There's no cleanse, there's no flash.
He's in, hasn't pulled out the cycle.
All right,
it is a
kill Rakan. Here's Olaf. Here's Johnny. Here's Johnny. Okay, not the worst for Casey. Not the worst, honestly. Not the worst.
It's 4 versus 2.
No Olaf ult.
Doran has no ultimate.
But Olaf has Death Dance. I guess it's full AD comp. Can we get a stun on Olaf? The flash.
Opportunity arrives, the feathers out, Peyz looking to survive, get on out. Canna.
Oh, the stone! Oh, okay! All right. There's a lot of shutdowns, yeah? A lot of shutdowns.
Left standing.
And it's a miracle.
Doran the Moran.
They're looking to take down Doran as well.
That's a stun.
Oh, they're kiting him. Oner. Oner. Woo!
And the goal in for T1 was 6,000. It's now 2,000 with Casey picking up the dragon. We have an equal game.
I don't know what happened to Ryze in that fight because of the POV. How did Ryze get one tapped?
No flash, no exhaust, no cleanse, no Mikkel onto Peyz.
So Keria got one shot.
Hit the tippers, he walks forward, and he is the
Wait, Faker just ulted into them with what the hell?
Two sides and splits up T1.
Ew.
Faker's ult.
I think Faker's ult was a big mistake there.
Oh,
Too much for T1. I was really surprised that Casey was able to find this fight with how far down they've been in gold. But with that now,
that's crazy, Faker. Relax, brother.
On the board for another 3 minutes, but it's a moment of breathe for KC as they might look for Peyz.
He's got exhaust, but
Peyz has no ult.
into his face. Keria saves the day. Bit of battle dance for what it is worth as Doran is now running down. We're looking towards the POV because there's a Pantheon who's moving into position as well. Yike on Grom. Oner did ulti there, by the way.
Well, game state is still really good for T1, guys. They scale much better. And soon Doran the Moran will have 3 items.
Almost an hourglass. He does have the Seekers for Kyeahoo. Very important. He has been the playmaker and the one guy who's keeping this game alive for KC.
Infinity Edge on Peyz is the next big spike for T1. If he gets that, he's going to be a lot stronger than Caliste. He's still up 2,000 gold. He's still 2,000 gold on top lane as well. So still, I think the fights should be quite favored for T1.
T1 just have outscaled the enemy. That's the whole issue here.
But at least a lot
I feel like KC might have just delayed the inevitable because all T1 needs to do is just not ult into the enemy team with Ryze. 3 items on Xayah.
How close is he at this point in the game? He's going to back as well, as you said, Jack. It's 2,000.
I think the dynamic of the game has not changed at all.
Knife's edge, to overuse the term, it really does feel like the next fight could win it all. It is Soul to deny against T1. It is a comp that got ahead early with a Xayah, Rakan, a Ryze has been PVMing, and Doran who found a lead in Snowball. But somehow the resilience needs to be studied as they found a way back in and a way to slow this game 3.
What is really critical now is for Caliste to try to hoover all the farm on the map so that he can.
But everything that has happened this tournament, this MSI, maybe.
Because if he can match
it has happened once in this game even.
Then they will have a pretty equal fighting advantage, but KC doesn't look dire just yet. So KC look like they want to try to fight. They're putting
the solo APN is doing a lot of damage.
At least they want to retake the vision
full
from
pen
T1.
build.
As Yeo is now forced to catch that top wave, and Faker will be the one putting pressure on mid, so KC will have to back off.
Even though no tank on KC, they can't use the Wukong W to bait spells and also try to face check those pushes by T1. So straight up walk back in there. They've got the raw numbers, they've got the strength, and Kyeahoo in their sides.
There's 2 people here. Keria's going to go in. Quickness immediately knock up. Kyeahoo hasn't burned the summoner, instead he goes gold.
Okay, kyeahoo got the spells off, but Faker tanky on the Ryze. Wukong flashes in. Oner falls. How about the culling? Where's the culling, Caliste? Doran flanking, and that's going to be game, ladies and gentlemen.
This is T1 showing yet again.
26 minutes in.
They could handle them now, but boy, were they wrong. The feather's going to fly out.
T1 looking for the ending.
but T1
2 people
will
still
see
alive, but I don't see how.
They can look to keep going. It's 3 people dead for KC. We'll have to see if they go for the end here.
I think T1 have to go for end. I don't know why Gnar is pushing down mid. Canna. Okay. They don't end. They don't end. Okay.
Back off,
I didn't see the death timers. Okay, okay. All right. We're staying alive. We're staying alive.
The second they see kyeahoo all on his lonesome, they know that he is the game changer for KC and take him down.
And kyeahoo had no stun, so he's not able to retaliate whatsoever. He gets one.
It was a good game too, honestly. I think Caliste did some mad moves in their game.
And it's good damage from Caliste, but once Peyz gets involved, you see Yike just gets destroyed by the Blade Caller, and then Doran's here with the flank. Canna's not in range to be able to help them, but luckily the death timers are so short on kyeahoo that it's not game for KC just yet, and they can still fight one more time for the Baron after.
See the Ragnarok timed out, and just as a Q came through from Busio as well, probably saved his life, probably saved more from falling in the base, if not all. Caliste just got Infinity Edge off the back of that fight, but T1 resilient with their gold once again as Yike is going to be spotted out, but T1 are on the Baron side, and Yike is not.
And T1 do this so incredibly fast. This Baron Nashor is already gone. KC will not be able to contest, but they have their eyes on the Dragon instead. They're giving up the Nash for a potential Drake fight here.
All right, T1, I need you to Ryze ult into KC now. That is pushing on the wave.
This is not good news for KC.
He's pretending to be a strong Lucian. He's got 3 items, but Peyz is level 15. I like that Caliste is still playing with confidence, you know, he's peppering. Good damage on Peyz. Caliste knows his job. Honestly, respect to Caliste. Respect to Caliste, bro. Canna sees the enemy team on mid. Canna's trying to bait out the... Oh, honestly, bro, we have some gaming. We got some gaming here. Oner the boneless!
Dragon goes down to KC.
What the hell? Yo! KC! The prayers have been answered!
It's a huge mistake from
T1.
Oner. He goes too deep, thinking that it can actually be a fight when Canna
recognizes he could just push down mid and take an inhib. Gets baited by Canna, and then there
T1 could choose to push mid, they could choose to
Magdula Oblongata took over. The reptile brain wanted to fight.
The options, but it's KC.
Look, their play is smart. They have a wave on mid, and then they get baited by Canna. Canna is just using his body to make them interested. Olaf ults, and then Pantheon ults as a response. But they could have just ran it down mid, taken a second inhib, and be happy.
Almost gets caught in the middle.
But KC, I have to say, KC are like, you know, they are playing in a very disruptive way. Very, very disruptive way.
With the Ryze ult, with the Pantheon.
Very disruptive way. I love how Caliste is on the wave. I love how Canna sent his body to look appealing to the engage.
With how strong this Olaf is, how strong this Xayah is, but it's these small moments that have been going in the favor of
the
KC.
bottom power play is in the negative. But every time we take stock of the game, we press tab and still say T1's position is really, really winning. Really winning. They still have soul point, 1 whole item advantage on Peyz, 1 whole advantage top, and their scaling is much better than the enemy team. T1 has to do another droolingly bad fight, and KC needs to play with the same level of confidence.
T1 has been owing from game 1.
T1 does still have full control of the map currently. They have the Nash for another 20 seconds. As they're able to push in mid, Peyz will now look to rotate, and Caliste will have to catch this mid wave. So T1 has 1 wave here where they can play with the numbers advantage.
Let's have a look.
Quickly mention items. With that top wave pushing in and adding pressure, Canna is close to Hysterics gauge. That's a big
There's the Ryze ult. Is this the Ryze ult? Is this really the Ryze ult? Lucian nowhere to be found. Maybe T1 done goofed again. They under the turret. T1 is snappy. Faker with the flash. Okay, T1. Bro, respect to T1. Honestly, respect to T1. Respect to Faker. This is what I mentioned before, you know. The balls. The balls to still send it like this, see a little piece of information, Lucian on the mid wave, and just say, let's go. pull the trigger. Ryze ult under the tower. That's what I meant with Faker. I feel like he is unfazed. He might do some of the craziest griefs you might see. And he's like, you know what? I don't care. I'm the GOAT. And just keeps playing.
If you thought KC was coming back, shut down.
As he just seems so, you know, he believes in what he believes, no matter what, you know?
Bars of T1 so low, it's what allows them to not be able to end the game.
Faker actualizer, the damage from that fight, I don't think anyone would be surprised. I watched him 1,000 to 0, about 2 carries. And I think that's what really set it up in the end with that close choke they had under turret.
And KC
1 minute to both objectives spawn. And a little bit of seconds on top of that.
Onto Oner. Flip that around from the second one as GA is on cooldown for Yike, and Oner has just purchased
Caliste matching items. He's on 4.
Right side is Caliste now has
his shoes are somehow fully stacked.
He's able to match that.
The mistake of buying these boots is the mistake no longer relevant. Who is that man? Who is that man?
They still hold
Who
all
is
the
that?
cards macro-wise and how they want to stretch KC out and make their life so hard to play.
Who is that man? And what is his significance?
Oner now has level 16 for Oner as well. Cyclone is up.
A famous cook, a famous French chef. Really? That's really random.
Dragon in 40 seconds, still that soul.
It looked like Wunder's dead. Alright, Caliste criminal dashing forward.
Willing to step forward with Busio, especially since he has that Echoes of Helia and a bit of healing to make Caliste.
Almost death cap for kyeahoo.
This might be bad timing right here.
Caliste has no cleanse for this fight, but he has Milio to protect him. Ryze base is on top, buys a pink. Items very similar. I would still say that T1's composition is favored. Caliste needs to win the fight before it starts, which with how he's playing is entirely possible. I'm loving the confidence from Caliste.
He has nothing to charge it on
even
right
with
now,
a terrible early game, very confident in how he executes. T1 have a massive smite advantage with Pantheon and Xayah. They're counting. 1, 2. Oh, they stop hitting it. Oh! It was 1 HP. Huge from Canna!
He finds the wall and finds T1.
Yo!
KC might have done it.
Will KC end? Will KC end?
Can Oner get out with the Grand Sword?
Oh!
He's going to try and he will succeed, but Canna.
There's too many turrets. There's too many turrets. I don't think they can end. They're going to take towers. Wait, can they end? They have grubs. Can they end? No, they can't end. Can they end? 30 seconds. Pantheon smite. Oh my lord! Oh my lord! They have a cannon minion. They have a cannon minion right there. They have a cannon minion right there. They have a cannon minion right there. Okay.
Keria gets an angle as well.
Okay. Peyz in 2, Peyz in 2, Ryze in 9, Ryze in 9, Ryze in 9, Ryze and shine. Peyz has ultimate in 5. Keria is interrupting them. There's the TP from Ryze. Faker, you psychopath, he wants some. Good timing there from Keria. Faker! Faker realizes this tournament has worlds in the name. Oh!
Now T1, they have 2 carries alive. I don't think they can go for the end themselves, but maybe they can go for the Nasher.
Yes, sold.
Yeah, who is a 50-second death timer. Oner's up in 25. Peyz is probably just going to look to do the Scuttle Crab, wait a little bit for Oner to respawn, and then they can rush the Nasher. Oh my god, what a game.
What a huge defense from
Jesus
Doran and
Christ.
Oner taking down that
what a game.
cannot end.
Bro, KC fans, T1 fans, everyone just... We need a paramedic! We need a paramedic! Everybody's got a heart attack going.
The door shot one more time.
We watch this replay here. It's a great stun from kyeahoo over
nice,
the wall.
kyeahoo. Where's the cleanse from Keria? Keria didn't cleanse the stun. Did he have no Michaels?
Stuns 3, and that's the winning fight for KC. But because of the fact that Oner can Pantheon ult out of the fight, he doesn't end up dying. Him and Doran can actually mount the defense to save the game for T1.
Brian's not saying words.
Very tough battle for KC. They found that fight. But that was kyeahoo finding the miracle flank into the miracle Mega Gnar ult from Canna. And I don't know if they can do that again.
GA on Yike, no GA on Oner. Can Yike make the play here?
Holy, somehow gold is even on ADCs.
However,
the Ocean Soul is big, but it ain't that big a deal. It's very late to get the Ocean Soul, and there's too much damage in the game. It's not like we have poke wars or anything. Everything kind of comes down to
gonna come down to this next fight, unless T1
explosive team fights. T1's composition is so much better. Like the fact that Casey has out-team fought them is a miracle in itself. Canna with the monster 4-man Gnar ultimate, the Ryze ultimate into bot lane. T1 have Nasher. They collect an inhib, but it's gonna be hard to progress. I don't know, T1 are sieging. I don't know if that's the way. But the cool thing about being in the base is that it's very hard for Gnar to get value. Very difficult for Gnar to get value because there's not enough walls. Look at the big arc that T1 have. Ocean Soul is also kind of milking. Caliste looking for the poke. Oh! That's the turn! Peyz, Peyz, Peyz. Peyz, 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 you freak! Let us win! Let us win, Peyz!
He's alive. Somehow, Peyz keeps thriving as the only one from T1 alive.
They need to kill him. They need to chase him, take the GA, because if there's another teamfight that has to come up, Peyz needs to die here.
But Casey, they want to end the game. They're looking to push mid lane. Just don't let Peyz base, and Casey can end.
Casey, how many are going to commit to a Yike's going to stand around? Goes in.
Peyz is alone. Peyz is alone. They just have to cancel his base. They just have to suicide into him.
They need the They need the finals opportunity. Yike is going to die. Busio knows he's got to stop him now.
Busio, go in there, Busio! Busio!
Peyz is going to get back. No, he's interrupted.
Get in there, Busio!
Busio got him. Here comes the quickness. Keria trying to get the minion wave in the middle time as well. Peyz
is back.
Has been able to back away. Next
it's over! It's over! They got it! They got it! They got it! They got it! Oh my lord!
Karmine Corp in Paris.
They fell on stage! They fell!
Yike!